our duty, it is our right. Strike, 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 strike. It is our duty, it is our right. Strike, 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 strike. It is our duty and it is our right. Our streets, 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 our streets. Our streets! Whose streets? 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 Our streets! 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 Our streets!
Every city, every town! Say fuck, I shut it down! Fuck, I shut it down! Every city, every town!
Our streets!
Say fuck, I shut it down!
Our streets! 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 Our streets!
So it took about 4 minutes for the protest to pass. Hey, I wish I paid $250 a day to come here. Don't get me wrong, some of this chanting is repetitive. And I wish people were more individualist and spoke their own mind instead of repeating what other people say. Like these people are going to be waiting a little bit extra on the light rail for the crowd to get by. I am freezing my fingers off, so if you could give me a like and a subscribe for being out here to show you what's going on in downtown Minneapolis. You make up your own mind. I'm not in charge of that. You will not see me chanting along because I have my own views which I will share.
Though anything with it on.
Since you're here, I actually captured footage on the very first day that the George Floyd protest happened. So the day after he was murdered, I have video footage of that on my channel. I caught somebody who was causing problems. So let me know if you see anybody else here trying to be an instigator. I like putting them on blast. Anybody attempting to do anything violent, I will call out. This is a peaceful protest. Those people have it nice up there in the warmth of the Skyway. Crowds. Yeah, it is smelling like reefer right now. Some people are lighting up. Here, I'm gonna go show you what's going on at the front of the protest.
Minnesota, let's be clear. A general strike is what they fear. A general strike is what they fear. Minnesota, let's be clear. Minnesota, let's be clear. A general strike is what they fear.
I don't really think they fear general strike. I think there's other things we could do that will be more powerful, but I'm not in charge of this. See the people walking in front here over there to try and get the cars out of the way to make sure cars don't impede the massive protest behind. And it's interesting how they always use these U-Hauls. I've seen U-Haul vans, these U-Haul trucks. I don't know why they decide to go with these.
I need your help here. Ice out of Minnesota. 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 The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. No more Minnesota nice. No more Minnesota nice.
We're at First Avenue right now. Famous nightclub down here where a lot of famous bands have played.
No more Minnesota nights. Minneapolis will strike. 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 Minneapolis will strike.
I absolutely do think Alex was killed unjustly.
All power to the people. All power to the people. No human is illegal. All power to the people. All power to the people. No human is illegal. All power to the people. No
Yeah,
human
Prince did
is
play at
illegal.
First Ave. I'm a big fan of Prince.
No human is illegal. It is our duty. It is our right. Strike, 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 strike. It is our duty. It is our right. Strike, 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 strike. It is our duty. It is our right. Strike, 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 strike. Strike, 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 strike. Strike, 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 strike. Strike, 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 strike. Let's go, Minneapolis!
People on the skyways up there.
I hope this spot looks familiar to you. We were just here a couple days ago, no? You remember when we did a couple days ago, no? We shut it down. 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 Shut it down.
What I really like showing on the live stream here is how it operates with these people basically getting the road cleared and moving the traffic. And these are not authorities. These are volunteers who got some vests on and they basically start doing traffic control. I agree. We have to keep the protest peaceful. Cars are getting... I think they want to strike. So that's what I'm kind of talking about. It does get repetitive. It's like, okay, we've said the same thing over and over again. And I think we got to do more than just a strike. And honestly, a strike's going to hurt us Minnesotans more than it's going to hurt the feds. So I don't know if that's really the correct solution. Still working traffic control over here. I guess they're setting up, so they're planning on just blocking the street here for a while, I guess. You can see they're setting up speakers.
Minneapolis will strike! 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 Minneapolis will strike!
Looks like we got police in there, security. Let's check out what's going on inside here. Guess there's a Timberwolves event going on. I don't mind popping in for a minute quick to warm up. It is cold out there. So I'm in the Target Center right now where the Timberwolves play. If you read Karl Marx, socialism is the stepping stone towards communism. It looks like they're trying to get
You can see
The democratic socialists tend to be for nonviolent democratic means of creating socialism in America democratically, as opposed to revolution.
A general strike is what they fear. A general strike is what they fear. Minnesota, let's be clear. Minnesota, let's be clear. A general strike is what they fear. 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 If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it, shut it down! 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 Shut it down!
Cruelty is the point, they say. Love thy neighbor is the answer.
Minnesota, let's be clear! Minnesota, let's be clear! A general strike is what they fear! A general strike is what they fear! Minnesota, let's be clear! Minnesota, let's be clear! A general strike is what they fear! A general strike is what they fear! Minnesota, let's be clear!
This is the smoking section. These people are staying away from the crowds so they don't get secondhand smoke. They're being respectful. We got ambulances on deck. They're getting through just fine, which is good because that can be an issue with protests. That ambulance can be held up, and it's good to see they're not. If a law is unjust, it is our duty to resist it. That's for you and your heart to decide. And potentially a jury of 12 if you really push it.
Introduce our first speaker. This is Naomi. Give it up for Naomi!
Good afternoon, Minneapolis! I want you to join me in a variation on the chant we've been doing all the way here. When I say, if we don't get it, I want you to say, strike, strike, strike. If we don't get it, strike, strike, strike. If we don't get it, strike, strike, strike. Strike, strike, strike. Strike, strike, strike.
They really seem to have like a singular mindset towards striking as the answer. I think we should have a statewide investigation. So we need an independent investigation into what has gone on with both homicides. They are officially homicides that happened. Whether they are justified or not, that's why we need an independent investigation. We need to see the body cam footage. We need to see everything. We need to know the truth of what happened. I really wish that, these protests would be more expansive than just repeating about striking over and over again.
And when
I agree. We know what we've seen. The issue is when it comes to tribalistic politics, people will just take the narrative of their side and repeat it because they don't want to be outed by their group.
In nearly a century could be done and could win again.
And I think I've seen that recently with the conservative crowd. You know, the guy had a legally owned weapon on him. He didn't draw it. I didn't see him draw it. I've actually been assaulted at a protest before. So I can understand why somebody would want to protect themselves and bring, protection in the form of a gun. They have a Second Amendment right to bring one. I agree they shouldn't draw one, but they have the right to have it on them. I am for the Second Amendment.
We are now going back and forth against this racist.
And they had plenty of officers. They could have had one officer on each arm.
Just as the eyes of the nation are on us for inspiration, they were hoping that we would be scared. They were hoping that it would spread across the rest of the country and people would feel powerless and afraid and alone. But what do we have right here?
Yeah, that's a massive crowd. She is not wrong about that.
We Minnesotans are some of the bravest people out there. Nothing is too cold. Nothing is too frightening. Our solidarity and our unity is unbeatable. They wanted us to go back. They wanted to turn back the tides of possibility with this horrific murder. They wanted the rest of the country to say maybe it's not possible for them. But now the momentum we have unleashed is unstoppable. Anytime the Trump administration thinks about invading another city with another deployment, they have to wonder, will they be like Minneapolis and do a general strike against us? We are not going to go back. We are going to go forward. That we have the power to do a one-day general strike, and in response to the execution-style murder of Alex Preddy, there's only one response that is appropriate from us as the people, and that is to extend and expand this strike.
There's only one solution. So who you are hearing from right now is the Party for Socialism and Liberation, PSL National, if you want to know more.
And so if we want to say that we want ICE out of our communities, we know where our power is. And we can wield it again. This strike needs to spread to other cities. This strike needs to continue right here in the state of Minnesota until we get what we want. The tactic of the general strike is what raises our horizon for what is possible. Several months ago, the idea of a general strike, most people didn't even know unless it came off of a history book. And now hundreds of thousands of us from Friday lived through a general strike. We now know what is possible. And so we must continue continue to raise the horizon of what can be done, because months ago they said that something like this could not be done. Months ago, there was no clear path forward to fight back against ICE terror. But now we have the path forward to a just future, to an end to this racist administration, to a just world that serves all of us and meets the needs that we have. That is why the general strike is necessary. That is why the strike needs to extend and expand. It is because if we continue to stay unified, if we continue to stand up for each other, we have a world to win for all of us.
You see, and what they mean by a world to win is the socialism and liberation. That is their ultimate goal here.
It is our duty to stand up for one another. It is our duty.
At PSL National. So I don't know if they're the Democratic Socialists or not. Because I know the Democratic Socialists are for non-violent means of bringing about socialism and communism.
For us. And so we cannot afford to be silent, and we must continue to hit the streets. And the next part is that it is our right. It is our right to strike. Because we are the working people that make everything run. We are the people that create all of the wealth of society. It is our right to say that we want to see how society is run.
So that right there is a classic Marxist ideology that the wealth is only created through exploitation of the poor.
You know what will kick out ICE?
You know what will kick out ICE?
Minnesota, expand the strike!
Minnesota, expand the strike!
You know what will kick out ICE?
You know what will kick out ICE?
Minnesota, expand the strike!
Minnesota, expand the strike!
You know what will kick out ICE?
You know what will kick out ICE?
Minnesota, expand the strike! Minnesota, expand the strike!
I do think we need justice. We need an independent investigation. It's wrong that the state authorities have been denied access.
I'm going to tell my story again. I'm done.
Your comments won't be taken down as long as you're respectful.
Listen to me. And I know what a containing a detaining looks like for a trained soldier, for trained personnel. I know that what happens when...
From what I heard, it was the other way around, that the state government got denied access.
To me, in my opinion, that looks like somebody who is under control. They had Alex under control, in my opinion, right? That's right. Again, I have to be very clear about what I say because I spoke with the BCA to hold them accountable.
The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension.
Justice in our streets, and there's only one way we're going to get it. We're going to experience this strike. Because people like Alex, military veterans, holding down, saving people's lives in the Minneapolis VA, which is where I get my health care. Saving lives, we need to keep standing up.
I get my health care at Hennepin Health, HCMC. They're $50 million short right now. The Feeding Our Future fraud could easily cover that shortfall and more.
Minneapolis General Strike! Minneapolis General Strike! Thank you.
No more Minnesota nights.
I'm going to continue to be Minnesota nice.
No more Minnesota nights. Minneapolis will strike. Get up! We got another speaker here. I believe you give it up, brother leader!
That's partly why I have a problem with the chances, because I don't believe in getting rid of Minnesota nice. I think that is something that is good, and we should continue to be good Minnesotans. We got to be better than the people who are worse.
I'm from the Bear Clan, and I come from the Red Nation, and I live in Minneapolis.
I wouldn't say these people are losers. Look at how big of a crowd and protest they have. This is far from being
I am a
losers.
student organizer at PSL and a proud Red Laker and Mexican American. Throughout these past couple of weeks, it has gotten more and more difficult and more scary to go to school. Not just me feeling this way, but my other peers are feeling this way from the murder of Renee Nicole Good on January 7th, then after ICE agents had left the scene 8 hours after and they went to Roosevelt High School. They had shot tear gas at students and teachers, and they took away 2 educators. This is the kind of action that ICE has been putting on students that is making us fear of going to school and getting the education we were promised. It has been 2 weeks since the murder of Renee Nicole Good, and throughout this past 2 weeks has created chaos and disruption in our communities. And so sadly, yesterday they took another life. Alexander Jeffrey Pretty.
For exercising his Second Amendment and First Amendment rights.
How many community members, how many neighbors does it have to take for ICE terror to stop in our communities? How many lives does it take to stop causing this ICE terror? The shock and the disbelief after we had our general strike. The first after it hasn't been done in 80 years, we created history. But then the next day, border control took a life. We have to continue the general strike, not just in Minnesota, but in every state, to show we are sick and tired of this ICE terror.
For how cold it is, this is a huge
Students from
crowd.
every district in Minnesota, students from out of state are walking out of their schools due to this ICE terror. Everywhere in the United States, this ICE terror has to stop. This ICE terror is disgusting. This ICE terror must end. Cheating place all my relatives.
You heard this ICE terror has to stop, and you also heard the only way we do that is together. No more Minnesota nice! No more Minnesota nice! Minneapolis will strike! Minneapolis will strike! No more Minnesota nice! No more Minnesota nice! Minneapolis will strike! Minneapolis will strike! Minneapolis will strike!
See, they're still working, volunteering to help direct traffic. They are not police, they are just volunteers who are doing this out of the kindness of their heart. Guy doesn't look too happy about waiting in that vehicle.
In 2020, after the murder of George Floyd,
Quite a line of vehicles back there.
the reason that Derek Chauvin was arrested is because night after night after night, we were in the streets demanding justice. And after the murder of Renee Nicole Good, and once again after another murder at the hands of ICE and CBP, the murder of Alex Brady, we will stay in the streets night after night after night. And after Friday's historic general strike, whether it was by design or by coincidence, ICE murdered another one of our community members. And they want us to lose our confidence. They want us to cower, and they want us to be afraid. But we refuse. We will stay in these streets until we have justice for Renee, justice for Alex, and justice for every immigrant family subjected to ICE's terror. The Twin Cities once again is the epicenter of struggle. And once again, we have set the path for the nation to follow. And that path is one of general strike.
Yeah, that's really their main solution to this issue is a general strike.
That you will stay in these streets and you will bring your friends, your family, your co-workers, every single person in your life to join you. And after moments of police violence, we have a choice. We have a choice to stay inside and to be afraid, or we have a choice to stay in these streets together. And if you are not yet plugged into organizing efforts, join us tonight, right after this, at 5 p.m. at University.
I don't know why
Baptist
people keep
Church,
calling them
1219
losers. Look at how big this
University
crowd
Avenue
is.
Southeast,
They're very successful.
To join us in this struggle and to make this general strike go nationwide.
There's over 10,000 people here easily.
When I
Probably
ask
more.
What do we want? You're gonna say ICE out. What do we want? ICE out. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? ICE out. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? ICE out. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? ICE out. When do we want it? Now.
It's like if you think these guys are losers, why don't you do something better? Where is your organization? Last time some conservatives tried coming and doing something, like 6 of them showed up versus 10,000 people here or more. Oh, so you like the Patriot Act? You're a big fan of the Patriot Act, huh? See, that's the issue with ICE, is it's tied to the Patriot Act. I don't know of anything else other than maybe the Controlled Substances Act with the DEA that has eroded more individual liberty in America than the Patriot Act. Yeah, but we haven't gotten rid of the Patriot Act. It's still around. Sure, the courts have struck down some parts of it as unconstitutional, but the other parts are still around. The other thing I really dislike is the DEA and the Controlled Substances Act. It's a direct violation of our liberty. I can't grow a plant that God gave us? Genesis 1:29? Seriously?
I met up with
We got people making friends everywhere. Yeah, weed's not the only drug out there, buddy. Okay? There's other plants you can grow too. There's coca, there's poppy, there's mushrooms. Well, mushrooms technically aren't a plant, they're a fungi. But there's a lot of other, you know. And an interesting fact, the human body actually produces codeine and morphine, the same exact molecule as in the poppy plant. So apparently it's illegal to grow medicine that your own body creates. All right, it seems the protest is starting to break up. The Democrat Socialists, or I don't know if they're the Democrat Socialists. I think they are something else, a different socialist group. I think they're definitely a lot more on the revolutionary side. And they also really tie in with unions. We got a US DOT vehicle right here. I wonder who these guys are. There's probably feds in here or something. Yeah, I am mad I can't grow my own plants that God gave me. If you had chronic pain like me, you would care too.
Fuck ice! Ice out! Ice out! Ice out!
Did you know that Thomas Jefferson grew poppy plants? George Washington used opium. Ben Franklin used opium. And they created the greatest nation on earth. So individual liberty and freedom's what matters. You won't see me chanting with people because I make up my own mind. Hey, hell yeah, smoke that weed, brother. Pursue happiness how you want. That is a God-given inalienable right, and that's what matters to me. Once we start losing our natural inalienable rights, that's when we go into tyranny. Crack isn't exactly the best thing for you. I'd suggest a transdermal cocaine patch if you do need cocaine. It's a lot better on the body. Then you can get small doses. Or coca leaf. You know, coca leaf or coca tea is going to be a lot better for you. at what you've done. There's just so many people out. Hey, I'm not against having borders either, but if you want to solve the problem at the border, the number one thing you can do is end the drug war. All it does is empower cartels and drain money and resources from America. So there was a big protest. Well, there still is one, but it started at the Hennepin County Courthouse and then worked its way to the Target Center where they set up in front. And by they, we're talking about the PSL. It's People's Socialist Liberation, I believe is what it stands for. So they're a communist Marxist organization that is pushing for a general strike. I think we need an independent investigation into the killing of Alex. He did not draw a gun from what I saw. He merely had the gun on him. He has a Second Amendment right to have that gun on him. I wish we would have heard more from people that had megaphones talking about his Second Amendment right. But the thing is, a lot of these people are against the Second Amendment right in many ways. At least the leaders of the PSL, the people running the PSL. So, the majority of the people here just came out because what they think is wrong with what's been going on. I think the murder or the killing, the homicide, is what's drawn a lot of people out. That was just so wrong what happened to Alex. I did not see any gun get drawn. You're welcome to link anything that proves that he pulled a gun. From what I saw, he did not. At worst case, he interfered with ICE. That should not be a executionable offense. Here in Minnesota, we don't even execute chomos, okay? I can't think of anybody better to execute than that. I think we're farther down. I'm just gonna keep walking. We gotta go towards the government center. Well, they shouldn't have let him reach for a gun. They had multiple agents, one agent per arm. He can't pull any gun. Instead, they were trying to beat him into submission. That's just the wrong way to handle it. And I've been assaulted at a protest before, so I understand why somebody would want to use their Second Amendment to protect themselves. Because I'm not a fan of socialism and communism, and I've been attacked for speaking as I speak right now. So it's not that he was going to, I mean, maybe he needed it to protect himself against, people who don't want him to use his First Amendment. Yeah, I get it. I don't agree that they were just out there peacefully protesting. I do think they were doing civil disobedience, but that's not illegal. That's not something you can kill somebody over. Minnesota's a big state, okay? The fact that there's this many people out in this cold is telling. And if conservatives think these people are losers and it's not that big a deal, where's your organizations and protests? There's 6 or 10 people that showed up and they got ran out of town? People can have as many MAGs as they want, in my opinion. It's a Second Amendment. Shall not be infringed. Pretty clear. It's hilarious how MAGAs are against the Second Amendment now. Take the guns first. Isn't that like your Donald Trump guy? Ban bump stocks, Donald Trump. You claim Democrats want to grab the guns, but Tim Walz is actually pretty Second Amendment for the most part, you know? I've seen the same out of Jared Paulus in Colorado.
Fuck ICE! ICE out! Fuck ICE!
There's been over 10,000 people that showed up today. There might be 10,000 people at one time, but people rotate in and out, you know? It's hard to be out in this cold. I'm definitely feeling it in my fingers. They are making it hard to move right now. For anybody interested, the DFL primary, the caucuses is going to be on February 3rd. I suggest everybody show up and vote undecided to stop Amy Klobuchar from getting the nomination. We definitely need a better representative from Minnesota than Amy Klobuchar. I think pretty much everybody can agree on that. Maybe she's got like, what, 10% of Minnesota diehard supporters? No, I'll continue to use drugs that help me pursue happiness. I'm a chronic pain patient. And opiates improve my life, and I'm not gonna be shy or apologetic about that. I have drank 0 alcohol today. Part of my pain contract is I am not allowed to drink alcohol, which I'm fine with. I'd rather not have to sign something like that to get pain relief and to relieve my suffering, but unfortunately, that's the world we live in. Chronic pain patients get very little meds, but if you're an addict, they'll give you unlimited amounts of methadone, basically. Free needles, drug testing, bupe. Once again, our inalienable rights are what matters. That's what I protest for. That's what I care about. And Alex had an inalienable right to own a gun, a God-given inalienable right to own a gun. Whether you believe in God or not, that's how America works. Read the Declaration of Independence. You don't have to pay for my drugs. I would happily pay for my own if they were legal. You think I enjoy having to go to the doctor every 28 days to recertify the fact I have the same chronic pain condition? It's a waste of resources. So many other countries have legal over-the-counter opiates available. Just up north, Canada has codeine over-the-counter. England has codeine over-the-counter. Japan has dihydrocodeine over-the-counter. All those countries have lower overdose rates than the US because we have prohibition here. I wouldn't attack ICE agents with a gun, but Alex didn't attack him with a gun. He responded to a woman being pushed. And that's what's hilarious. You want to call Democrats soy boys, but if you were truly a man, you would have an innate response to protect women. And that's what he was doing in his last moments, is protecting a woman in need. Kratom isn't the same thing. Kratom isn't something that our body naturally produces. It is a proven fact that our bodies produce codeine and morphine, the same exact chemical as in the poppy plant. So while Kratom's an okay option for people it works for, I should be allowed to grow what plants I want to relieve my pain and suffering. It's pretty simple. And if you understand anything about the law, you would know about the Bruin test, which they weren't regulating it back then when the Founding Fathers created America and the U.S. Constitution. The government can't just usurp that. They have to pass an amendment. They needed to pass an amendment to outlaw alcohol, but with the drugs, they just usurp power. Even if he interfered, that's not a reason to kill him. Civil disobedience is not a reason to kill people.
They don't get to be the judge, jury, and executioner. Fuck off. What happened to due process?
Exactly. If they've done something illegal, you arrest them. And you do it without lethal force. Lethal force has to be used only in the worst case scenario.
They had multiple guys on him. That was not...
I want to thank everybody for being here on the stream. I really appreciate it. I know I get passionate at times. And you're welcome to share your opinions as long as you are respectful.
And fuck Ice! Ice out!
Okay, if he was resisting, you can still get him non-violently. What about it?
Him.
So, one agent per arm. The guy didn't look that strong, okay? If one agent can't hold a single guy's arm from reaching for a gun, we have bigger issues.
They took his gun before they shot him. It's on camera.
Yeah, exactly. I have to agree. When you get pepper spray in the face, and it's probably some very intense pepper spray, to expect him to react perfectly, I think, is asking too much. The people who are the professionals are the ones who killed him. He's a citizen. He's not a professional when it comes to this stuff.
They were poorly trained thugs.
And I absolutely understand his innate response to trying to protect the woman that was next to him. He saw her get shoved, and he just went to try and help her. I understand that. Yeah, and that's the thing, 10 rounds? It's just insane how many times they shot the guy.
He was still on the ground and they kept shooting. What was that?
And now a family has lost a son?
They didn't need to keep fucking shooting.
Oh, God, that's really sad to hear about him losing his dog, too. But you know what? They're together now. So that's what I believe in. I believe in an afterlife, and I believe in God. You won't see me making jokes about, hail Satan or whatever. That's not me. I believe in God given inalienable rights. I don't believe in socialism or communism. And I also believe that this administration and the federal government needs to stop automatically defending conduct of federal officers. They need to take an unbiased stance and say, we are going to investigate this. Christy, once again, I have been assaulted at a protest. Kyle Rittenhouse was at a protest with a gun, and it probably saved his life. So it's just interesting how you can claim don't bring a gun to a protest when the right wing all rallied around the right to bring a gun to a protest. The Second Amendment is clear. Thou it shall not be infringed. Yeah, okay, having one strapped onto you, a gun, doesn't mean he brandished it.
They took it before they shot him. He didn't shoot anybody.
Kyle was interfering with people trying to set buildings on fire. That's the meaning of a militia, is to defend and protect your area. You don't need an ID to produce your own gun. It's actually legal to create your own guns. You just can't sell them to others without licensing and permits. But if you want to create your own gun, you can 3D print a gun legally, as far as I'm aware. We have the Second Amendment for a reason. Okay, interfering with law enforcement, if that's true, that's illegal. It's not a death sentence. It's not a reason to execute him.
They don't get to be the judge, jury, and executioner. That's not
Yeah.
how due process works.
Exactly. Who decides their punishment is the jury and the judges. They're the ones who determine guilt.
They're not the executioners. They're not the justice system. Decide.
Resisting arrest, yes, it's illegal. I don't think people should resist arrest. I think, you know, if it's at the point they're going to arrest you, just give in. That's the safest thing to do. But what happened there is a woman got pushed and his biological urge to protect women kicked in. Whether or not she can defend herself, I know as a man, I have an innate need and biological urge, and just it happens naturally, response to protect women if they need to be helped. All right, well, it's been fun debating with you people that clearly have a super open mind. I will be doing more videos and live streams of the protests coming up, and I'm also going to be organizing a attempt to prevent Amy Klobuchar from getting the nomination. We need a better Democrat nominee. I would prefer a more libertarian Democrat, like a Jared Polis style. So if you're interested in that, subscribe. And stay safe out there and continue to pursue happiness. Peace.